Best friend! I have been the worst best friend. I have been silent for 2 days. Oh, sorry for those weird lighting. Just checked into the hotel. Basically, Monday was a travel day where I slept all the sleep that I hadn't been doing in New Orleans. And then yesterday was a one-nighter, so just didn't have much to give you. My face is angry. And I want to say it's because I was wearing makeup every day in New Orleans and then partying and sweating for like 12 plus hours. So I understand. But yeah, trying to get my face back on track. We just got here. Room is super cute, and they made us like subs and cookies, and there's water bottles, and it's all free, so that's cute. So it is about almost 2 o'clock. Yeah. And bus call is at 5. So I definitely want to wash my hair. And then there's a Target nearby that I possibly want to go get groceries in. I just don't know if I'm going to have time. So if I don't, then that will be a tomorrow activity. We're here in the city for 2 days. Then we travel again on Friday, and then we're there for the weekend, and then next week we're in Rochester, New York all week. So this is our split week craziness. It's great because all I've been doing is sleeping. I sleep all day on the bus. I do the show, and then I sleep all night. I'm so tired, so yeah. And I had been losing my voice in New Orleans, so that's kind of starting to come back a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna eat this up, wash my hair, and I'll check back in when I check back in, okay? Love you, bye. Alright, best friend, I have to show you how cute this place is. So it's called The Graduate. We're in Richmond. So these are our room keys. Look at how cute! Can't even handle it. And then this is the little, like, do not disturb. This is what the room looks like. It's like a comic situation. Look at how cute. Poopy. And then everything is just like themed. So cute. Over here, like a stack of books is your coffee table. The directory, hilarious. Cute little notepad, little like pencil. How cute is this? Cute little boutique hotel that hopefully doesn't have bed bugs. This is my little view. We are walking distance. Oh, there's the School of Business. Obviously a college town, look at how pretty that is. We're walking distance to the theater. But I'm gonna go to sleep because this Benadryl is no joke. I'm exhausted. And so itchy. Hold on, I'm gonna turn you around. So yeah, as I tried to explain last night in like a Benadryl haze while laying in a new bed that I was terrified would kill me, is that the bedbugs ate me alive. And I'm breaking out because I'm stressed, but they are, and that's just a little sneak peek, but they're everywhere, literally everywhere. Everywhere you can imagine not wanting to have bites, they're there. It's really awful. And then I was looking up and it was saying the itching and like God, where can I get some lighting that's not gonna, there we go. That like everything could last up to 2 weeks, and the thought of that makes me want to die. It's so itchy. The Benadryl pills work because I'm asleep and then I don't feel itchy. But like as soon as I start moving around or doing things, like my whole body is so itchy. There's only so much cream. There's only so much cream can do. So I'm gonna try to lay down, rest some more. This just like fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like, cause I have about 2.5 weeks left on tour before layoff, and those 2.5 weeks are gonna be spent like this. So I'm so annoyed, so frustrated. And then I feel like I have not talked to you all week because it's just been crazy one-nighters and bullshit and this. But yeah, so I'm just gonna try to rest and then wake up early enough so I can maybe like grab food or something before the show. But like I just don't want to do anything. I'm just so tired and my body hurts and I'm so itchy. I wish I could explain what this feeling is like. It's like wanting to just scratch everywhere all at the same time. Like this is what chicken pox would be like. I don't know, I've never had it. Because I thought I was having that for a second because I was like, well, what is this? But nope, definitely bed bugs. Yeah, I want to die. So there's one right there in my fucking face. I can't even handle it. They're everywhere. Everywhere. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I love you so much. I'm sorry this week's vlog is probably gonna suck. Hopefully it gets more exciting over the weekend. Or I'll just like, you know, take copious videos of me trying not to scratch myself. Because then it says don't scratch yourself. You can scar yourself or cause it to scab and wound. And then if that happens, you have to go to the hospital. But now, like, everybody I look at, I'm like, I don't trust you. Like, I'm looking at that bed, I'm like, don't trust it. I don't trust putting my stuff anywhere. That's why it's all on the wood table. But even then, they can live in wood. I don't know. No place is safe but Florida. We have to get back there. Yeah, okay. That's all about that I got for you. I'm gonna go back to bed. Love you. Bye. I guess this theater's kind of cute. Kind of gigantic. Green wall. You're getting in such the way. Hold on. There we are. Can I cross? I can't. This is kind of cute. What? You hear this? I hope my phone is picking up how loud this lobby is right now. They're gonna block the freaking speakers. There's never good lighting. Oh my god, can you even hear me? I don't know, it's so loud. I have to fold a bunch of stuff, that's all. So I'm gonna do that now. I just feel like this is gonna be the most boring vlog ever because I have nothing to show you. Maybe I'll do like a get ready with me or something. I don't know. I have to fold. I don't know how I can do it. I cannot listen to this the entire show. Hello? Who's actually trying to listen to the show during the whole show? This is so loud. I'm gonna talk to someone. I love you, bye. They lowered the volume. What kind of lighting and angle is this? I'm gonna show you everything I have to fold. Hold on. Gotta fold all of that. This. The mountain looming above me and that mountain looming above me. Because this is empty. Blech. It's so loud, it's literally gonna blow up the speakers. I'm so heated. I had to fight with them yesterday to lower it and still they kept messing with it. You hear that? You hear that static? Wild. It should never be that loud. I have my phone at full volume and still can't hear the show I'm watching. It was going so well. I don't. Macaroni didn't spill. It's like God doesn't want me to be skinny. Why? Hi, there's a pig. Do you see it? It's the one on 4 legs. That looks like a pig. Emily is going to touch the pig. Oh my god, I'm screaming. Just a little piglet in our Cadoba. A little piglet.
Oh wow. It's so nice to meet you.
So cute. There's a whole pig here. I don't even know what's going on. No idea, but it's here. And I think that's part of that stroller, which I'm obsessed with. Don't get crazy. Oh, she's touching the pig. Oh my god. Is that okay to eat? I don't see this is why. It's not a vegetarian for so long.
Can we move our Cadoba over here? Away from the pig.
It's a whole pig.
Can you take a picture of me?
I sure can take a
with the
picture of
pig?
you. Okay, so like, get some popcorn, get ready. If you are noticing that date and time, that is not a lie. I'm coming at you with the most flattering angles right now. Look at this, like a potato. God, I'm so tired. I just finished editing the New Orleans vlog, and it is going up now. So something, I'm gonna address the audience. Something Marissa and I talked a lot about was, oh my gosh, can I just get this camera to like not be rude? Okay. Something Marissa and I talked a lot about was when doing these vlogs, do we want to address other people or do we just want to talk to each other? And we really just want to talk to each other. But I really want to address whoever is watching this, whether that's just like Marissa and Edmund and my grandmother or whoever, a couple of things. So number one, obviously you will notice there is like nothing to show for this week. I feel like this week was really the come down of New Orleans. I honestly slept the whole time. We also hit 3 cities in 1 week, so I was pretty much exhausted for most of it, and it was like long bus days of nothing to show. And I also feel like I'm doing the wind down of like tour being close to over, Marissa's tour is about to be over. I think she's got 1 week left as of today. I have 2 weeks until layover, or till layoff. But then after layoff, I'm only on tour a week before the tour's in Orlando for a week. And then I go on tour for another week. And then the week after that, it's done. So, like, after layoff, there's no point where I'm away from Orlando for more than 6 days. So, yeah. So, like, really, once I hit layoff, the tour is going to feel like it's over. And so I just kind of want to give some, like, tour realities. Because I feel like we're definitely showing, like, our whole point of wanting to do these vlogs was to show people, like, what life is like, what this kind of life is like. Because I feel like it's the number one question I get asked, like, what do you do out there? Like, what is life on the road? Life on the road is not all vlogging while nude at 6 in the morning. It's not always that glamorous. Oh, I'm so tired. I honestly don't even know if any of this is going to make it. So if this is a ramble, I just don't even, what is my hair doing? Anyway. Okay, so I decided that today, or for this vlog, what I would do is make it like Q&A situation and just answering like the top questions I get all the time. But I look like a troll, so I'm gonna get myself together and I'm gonna be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, bye. Okay, cool. This is a little bit better. I'm gonna run hoodie, how appropriate. Okay, so video is publishing and it says it's got 44 minutes. I'm not gonna do a 44-minute long video, but I have an hour and a half till bus call, or an hour 45 till bus call, so get on it. Okay, so let me think. Biggest questions we get is, what's it like traveling? Am I married or with kids? I should just use one at a time because then I'm going to forget them. Okay, so what is it like traveling? It is sometimes amazing. It is sometimes not amazing. So I am on a non-equity tour, which means that they don't have to do anything. There's like no rule book. Now, luckily, I work for this amazing company. They're called Worklight. And for the most part, we follow almost all equity rules. We do have a more hectic schedule than an equity schedule. So usually for an equity show, they are not anywhere less than a week. They don't do split weeks. We do split weeks. Those are the weeks that are hard. So like this week was a split week. Last week was not. It was New Orleans. We were there for the entire time. Depending on the city, depends on if we fly or if we bus. So a lot of people will call these like bus and truck tours. I feel like year one, that was definitely our life. I feel like year two is a lot less. We have definitely flown for at least 70% of this tour. There are pros and cons. Like, I do love to fly, but also I sleep a lot better on a bus than I do on a plane. So yeah, but no matter what, travel days is always sleep days for me. I can sleep anywhere. The only person better at sleeping than me is Futaba. They are great at sleeping because they can fall asleep like in a log. I don't even know. I cannot fall asleep like that, but pretty much if anything is moving, I'm asleep. So bus, plane, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I don't even remember what the original, what's travel days like. So yeah, travel days for me are mostly sleeping. If it's a bus day, then that usually means we have a morning break, we have a lunch break, and then if it's a long one, we'll have an afternoon break. Lunch breaks are usually, they're always an hour. I think one time it wasn't, and that's because we were really trying to make it for a show. It was a long one. Most bus days are about 300 miles or less. Every now and then we have a long one. Tomorrow is a long one, so we get a morning break, which usually does like a 15-minute pee breaks. So we get one morning break, we get a lunch break, which will be an hour it's at a mall tomorrow. And then we get a 15-minute break in the afternoon, and each of those are separated by like 2 and 2.5 hours of time. My tour is really great about we don't go longer than 2.5 hours without taking some sort of break. Marissa, I'll talk to you, and I think you should do something for your tour, because Marissa's had, in some ways, the exact same experience as me, and in some ways, the opposite. Marissa also, when she started Kinky Boots, it was still equity, and then she went non-equity with it. So she has had kind of both sides of this, whereas Rent has always been non-equity. I started with the Rent tour in 2016, and that entire time it's been a non-equity tour. It's been through Worklight. Like I said, like, I always feel like non-equity gets a bad rap, and like everyone's in such a rush to go equity. I've worked at equity theaters, I've worked at non-equity theaters. The only tours I've done have been non-equity, but my equity experiences have not been positive, and my non-equity experiences for the most part have been positive. I think it's totally environmental. The rules are important, I get why they're there, but like I said, what's great about working with a company like Worklight is that they do have equity tours, they do have non-equity tours, and they treat every tour the same. So like, yeah, we have more stops, but other than that, Arthur said the favorite thing ever, where he's one of the actors, and he's like, the only thing non-equity here is you, boo. Which is basically like, we're playing out as equity houses, our crews are equity, the only thing that's non-equity is the actors. And moi. but moi is not equity on purpose. If I was an equity stage manager, I wouldn't be doing this. So obviously I'm still trying to figure my shit out. Hello. Anyway, that was way more information. So yeah, so that's what travel is like, and non-equity and equity theaters and blah, blah, blah. I am not married and I don't have children, in case there's anyone watching this that doesn't know me, though I'm pretty positive everyone watching this knows me. But it is like the number one question Uber drivers ask me. I don't know why they ask my question. It's like wildly inappropriate. And it's not that they ask me, it's that they go, oh, you travel for work? Well, then you must be single, right? You're not married. You don't have any kids, right? Like there's this assumption that you can't have it all. But also, it would be super hard to have it all. Particularly in this, I mean, anyone can do it. There's plenty of people on the road that are in relationships and stuff now that we tour with. But it is definitely a lot harder to do on the road. But also, like, travel the entire United States and the world, or have a boyfriend, like, well, those are non-equal. They're not equal. So yeah, so that's me. Single as a Pringle. Though Pringles come in multiple, there's usually more than one Pringle inside of a packet. That makes no sense. Let's see, what other questions do I get a lot? I always get, what is it like, which is like so broad. I think what people are asking is it fun, and is it like a party? I think a lot of people assume, like, I know that Uber drivers are who I spend a lot of my time with. You will spend a lot of time with Uber drivers if you're on a national tour, or checking out rental cars. One or the other will happen. But they always assume that it's like a nonstop party and that we are having the best time. And TBH, a lot of it is that. I'm not a nonstop party, but it is the best time. Like, I completely recognize that, and this is not the case for everyone on this tour, but for my job, I sell the merchandise. I have probably one of the easiest jobs on tour. Or I know it is difficult for some people. It is not difficult for me. I definitely think having a background in stage management was really helpful. A lot of the people that had worked these types of tours for my merchandising company before me, I think were like actors and people in transition, which I'm definitely in transition, but they just came from a different background. So when I first started something, they told me, they're like, you picked up the paperwork really easy. Like, I was super easy to train, apparently. I was able to adapt a lot faster because things like paperwork and dealing with money and dealing with customer, like, that was all stuff I was already doing as a stage manager. And so transitioning that into this job, it felt a lot easier, to be honest. I'm also out here, not with no boss, but like, no one is out here really checking on me. As long as I send my company the numbers and I'm not stealing from them, I'm good. And I send them the numbers and I don't steal from them, so I'm good. But like, I kind of set my own hours. I just know that, like, I know how long it takes me to open up the boxes and open up the booth. And for another merch person, it may take them 3 hours to do something that may only take me an hour, or vice versa. Either way, we get to set that on our own. As long as you do the shows and you're doing your job well, like, that's all that matters. And me and Marissa compete, but it's usually one of us that is the top sellers of our company. Definitely when I was doing year one, I was the top seller of my company. Rent was making unmatched money. It was wild. This year, some cities are, like, especially at the beginning, it was a lot slower because we were revisiting areas we'd already been at. But lately, it's been picking up again, which is really cool. But Rent makes really good money. I know Kinky Boots is making really good money. So it is a lot of responsibility, but I feel like, obviously, that's what I love, if my background's in stage management. So it's a pretty cool gig. Like, I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like in so much of it, I'm on the outside looking in. Like, I don't have to worry about my fellow actor or, like, my fellow anyone. Like, it's just me. If I wanted to be a complete hermit and talk to no one, I could actually do that with this gig. And I know some merch people that do. And if I wanted to be best friends with everyone, I could do that too. I know other people that do that. You kind of can live in your own island if you want to. I know the girl that trained me, Jessie, like, she loved that. And she was all about, like, it created a lot of time for her to think about herself and figure herself out, which was definitely a big reason I wanted to join tour, is kind of figure out me and what I wanted to do, which brings me on to my next thing. So then everyone asks, like, well, how'd you get into this? Are you going to keep doing this? Blah, blah, blah. So how I got into this was, for about a year, me and a friend, Jessie, we went to UCF together, had been talking. She had posted, like, a year before I joined Rent, about needing managers, and that she was working at this merchandising company. And I'd reached out, and then, like, they didn't have anyone. And it kind of went back and forth like that for about a year, where every time she reached out to me, I was already working and couldn't, or when I reached out to her, there wasn't anything going on at the time. And then right about, I think it was Miss Saigon was ending, at Serenbe, she called me like a month before it ended and was like, hey, we have a new tour going out. Are you interested? She's like, if I speak highly of you and like you're great, and I know she knew I had done like some small touring stage management stuff. She was like, if that goes awesome, like you can totally, like I don't see any reason why they wouldn't hire you basically. And so I was like, okay. So I did a Skype interview. I think it was like a phone call and then a Skype. I did like a phone call with, I want to say it was Sima at the time. And then I did a Skype with the owner of the company, Adam. And the other like head honcho in the office is Ildi. And then like later that day they called and offered me the job. And I said yes. So yeah, so that's really how I got involved. A lot of this business is who you know, and I just knew someone that could give me the gig. And then I started making really good money, and they were like, we love you. And then I've been on it ever since. Did I think I would be on Rent for 2 years? No, because Rent is not even one of my favorite musicals. To be honest, when I started this, I didn't like the musical Rent. But what I have loved about this show is that it has given me such an appreciation for the musical. Working from a house is so neat. My previous like front of house experience was I had worked as a ticket taker at Universal Studios. And one thing I loved was being the first thing people see when they go in. Like, you're the beginning of their experience. That's how Universal used to say it. Well, I don't think that was their wording, but like that was kind of the feeling. It was like, you know, you start off the day for them. So like if they have a good moment with you, like that energy propels them forward. If they have a bad moment with you, like that energy propels them forward. So I kind of felt the same way about merch, because most people come in, they buy merchandise, and then they do the rest of what they're going to do. So I kind of like being that energy, or when they come in intermission and they want to like talk about how great the show is, or at the end, like people are coming up and they're crying and buying merchandise and they're just like so moved. We get a lot of like letters at the stage door about how like people have been following the show their whole lives, how it changed their lives, how it helped their coming out story. It's just like really cool. This show, whether or not I love the musical itself, kind of doesn't matter, because I love what it has done for people, and for me that is enough. And then on top of that, I do have an appreciation for the music and the story and that. One of the best things we ever did was at the end of year one, we went to the Library of Congress. They invited us because they have a huge collection of Jonathan Larson's work and his notes and everything for the creation of Rent. And that also like really cemented for me just this understanding of something that I definitely underappreciated and didn't even really like in the beginning. I have a lot of respect for it. But yeah, so I feel like I just gained such an appreciation for Rent. And there is something really awesome in the theater business called like secure work. It doesn't really exist. So to have a company say, we'll hire you for 9 months out of the year, every year for as long as you want to do this, is amazing. And that's really why I've been on Rent for 2 years. The next step for me is that, so I had the layoff, and then Rent year 2, it's weird. Rent year 2 officially ends with the layoff, but that was not the original ending. The original ending was in June. So after the layoff, year 3 people are actually going to join us. You guys will be seeing that for 3 weeks, and then they go to Asia. So basically they decided to start the year 3 people earlier so that they could get some time in the States before they immediately bring the show to Japan and China. So my year 2 ends in June, but really I'll have started year 3, which is a while to think about. And then mid-June, tour takes a break. I want to say like early fall, the cast goes to, I think they're Japan like 3 weeks, and then like a month or 2 in China. They're in Asia for a while, like definitely till November. And I don't go for that. So any international travel, I don't do. They also went to Japan last year, and I did not do that either. They have their own sellers in their own language with their own money. And I saw the merchandise. They even make their own stuff in their language, and it's super cool. And they had like, so like they did a show on Happy New Year, like on New Year, so that, you know, the Happy New Year happened at Happy New Year. It was cool. And they made like a special shirt for that. They made a shirt for Christmas. Like, it was really cute and stuff. And they brought me back stickers and a book. Their program was super cool. Yeah, so it was awesome. But I don't go and do any of that. So those are the times that I have my breaks. So this break will be really long because it's mid-June until like beginning of November. So I have a But I'm really excited about the idea of being in Orlando for so long and in Florida for so long. So yeah, so I'm just really open, and I really hope they hire me. I'm so nervous about it. I would really love the job. I really love the opportunity, and I'm excited about the possibilities. Just would hate to be out of work until Rent comes back in November. So like short term is like I definitely need to find a job for that time, and if it could be that, that'd be amazing, because then that could segue into my long-term goals of being in Florida. Because tour has been amazing, but it's also been 2 years on the road. It will be 2 years on the road by the time I finish in June, and that's a long time. So yeah, so I don't know, but I'm really open. I'm definitely not going to X one option out before I have another option. I want to see what's out there. So yeah. Let's see. So that's what's next. You know, it's up in the air, but I'm fingers crossed. I'm also applying for other gigs. Like I said, June through November is a long time to not have work. So hello. What else? What is the hardest part of touring? People ask me that a lot. Winter. I hate winter so much. I hate the cold so much. And I feel like this year, I'm going to check how long this is doing. Okay, we're doing better. I feel like this year we were in cold for a very, very long time. I hated it. Literally, like, from fall, like, we were already hitting places by, like, November, December that were in deep snow. And then it stayed like that until the last 2 weeks, until we hit New Orleans. It was cold until we hit New Orleans. I don't know if people live that way. It's honestly why I don't see touring as long-term for me. And why, like, I'd love to be in Florida full-time. Problem is, like, Florida doesn't have a lot. Like, Florida, it's mostly theme parks. There's not really theater there. The theaters that are there, I do not want to work for. There's only a couple. And they have different ideas than I do. But yeah, so, like, I just... You know, it's Florida or it's island life, because those are the only places that don't have winter, and I really hate winter. It's my biggest hang up from tour, to be honest. Like, everything else are problems you find in the real world and any other job. Like, yeah, tour bubble exists, blah, 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 but, like, it's just life. But winter is inescapable. And, like, packing for that and planning for that is awful. Tour bubble, it does exist. It can be the worst sometimes. I feel like last year I was a lot more in the tour bubble, and this year I'm really great at reminding myself, like, this is a bubble moment. Is what you call them. They're bubble moments. Time feels really slow sometimes in the tour bubble, or really fast. So, like, relationships will be like this, and people will feel like they've been together 15 years. You feel that way about friendships. Like, you know someone for 24 hours and they feel like your best friend already, because it's tour bubble, because you guys are going through something that's just, like, wild. I think that's it. This video is already 20 minutes just in this little talking through section. So yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these or not. I don't know if Marissa's gonna yell at me, don't yell at me, about addressing, like, people or not. But if you have questions, I would love to hear them. And maybe, like, at the end of, like, my goodbye to Marissa, maybe I'll answer some more questions. Or maybe when me and Marissa reunite one day in the future, maybe, whenever, we'll answer questions together. I don't know. I just feel like I had to do something for this video, because otherwise there was nothing. I honestly slept, and I was really sad. It's this weird time of, like, the last city I was super excited for is done, other than Orlando. Last city I was super excited for is done, until layoff. And so now it's just this weird in-between of waiting for layoff. Next week or tomorrow, we travel to Rochester, New York, and we're there all week, which is great. And then the week after that is a baby split week. It's only 6 shows, not even 8, so that's cute. And then I fly home for 2 weeks, so yeah. And then me and Marissa go on vacation. So yeah, so I'm just, like, in this weird in-between of, like, hello. And then the next cool city we hit is Orlando. We perform at the Dr. Phillips Center, and that theater is so beautiful, and I am so excited to be there as, like, a part of the show person. And then, of course, to be in Orlando, hello, I'm gonna go to Disney every day. But yeah, that's all I got. It is 6:21 in the morning, apparently, if that clock is to be believed. So in about an hour, I'm gonna get ready for bus call, and hopefully my video will be uploaded. And yeah, that's all I got. So let me know if you have any other questions. Marissa, don't beat me up for doing this video this way. I love you, Marissa. I love you, people watching. Bye.